No, hold on. Why young men aren't growing up.
Gerbert.
Gerbert.
So I just turned 20. Technically, I was born in 2003 or whatever, but
Damn, I feel kind of old, bro. I was born in 98, man. Oh, 3.
don't really feel like it. I feel more like I'm 16. I also look
I feel 19. And people still think I'm like 19, 20.
more like I'm 16, but that's probably just genetic. The point is, mentally, I'm like a 16-year-old. And that's what I said in court, but the jury really wasn't having it. And I got charged with something about statutory. So I had to flee the scene. I drove deep into the mountains because I really don't want to go to jail on account of the fact, the fellas in there might try to get my ass.
On God.
On my journey, I spotted a large tree, a tall tree I decided to climb so I could scout my surroundings and make sure none of the authorities were after me. It was the first time I climbed a tree in a while. I used to really love climbing trees. When I finally reached the top, I looked around and I didn't see
Where is this nigga located?
anybody, only the landscape. I reached for my phone in my pocket, but I realized I didn't have it.
Damn.
It was down there recording me climbing the tree. So now I'm on top of this tree and I don't have any constant simulation to silence my Zoomer brain from thinking thoughts. So now they're right in front of me and I start to break down. Not like I'm crying or anything gay like that. It's, it's all inside. I realized that I should have climbed more trees. I know I'm still young. I still have a lot of time, but in many ways, it's too late. Not just too late to climb trees, but too late to go sleep over with my friends, have conversations into the night.
I ain't never really had sleepovers like that. My mom was on some like, nah, nigga, I don't know them niggas. I ain't going. You can't go.
Laughing, waking up their parents and pretending like we're asleep when they walk in the room. Too late to come home from school and hop on Xbox
I was playing PS3. 2K.
Live with all the homies. Too late to go back to school because as much as it sucked,
I'm in school now. That shit gay. Gay as fuck. I just want my money.
that's where all the boys were. And now they're kind of all gone.
On God.
Too late to feel innocent high school love. Too late to be a kid. Because I guess I could still climb trees. But it wouldn't be the same anymore. I used to do it just because I liked doing it. And now I do it to avoid being convicted as a sex criminal. But hey, I guess that's just growing up. I don't feel ready. I want to go back. But time keeps moving. In fact, that shit continually moves faster as you get older.
It only feels that way because most people are just working and they spend their whole days working. And by the time you get off, it's like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Nigga, you tired. Either going to the gym or you going like spend time with your girl or whatever. But like,
In fact, that shit continually moves faster as you get older, which is a real dick move by, the Lord.
it's only like that because you perceive it that way, bro. I wake up hella early and my days are long as fuck. It's just boring. This is long as fuck, but boring.
It's a well-known psychological phenomenon that time seems to move faster as you get older, but once I realized why this happens, it kind of freaked me out a little bit. It's because the passage of time is proportionate to your memory. When you're younger, time seems more dense because the things you experience are new and your brain memorizes them as such. And when you're older, going on your daily life, you have less and less new experiences. So during the day, it might not seem fast, but that's why you can blink and look back at the last 5 or 10 years and feel like it's been no time at all, like nothing's really happened. That's just the general concept, but it can get scary when you extrapolate it to other things. Because unique and memorable events slow down time, getting into a routine makes time go faster because your days are all the same. And that's kind of what adulthood is. For me,
Adulthood shit crazy, bro. Like, college, like, it was still fun. That shit was like high school. Extended high school. That's really what it's like. You just sleeping at the dorms. But, like, I would say my last year of college, bro, that's what, like, shit just, like, got real. It's like, damn, bro. You in the real world. You know how in, like, high school you start off with a whole bunch of friends, then, like, senior year you don't got no friends. That's how it is. But it's just weird, bro.
Time was moving very steady until I was 16, 17. And by this time, the lockdowns hit. I didn't have a graduation. I just started taking online classes at a community college, and my days started bleeding together. These last few years, I feel, were robbed from me. I was a late bloomer, so I was pretty unfuckable most of my life, never dated in high school. And after this, my friend groups broke apart, scattered.
That shit happened right as soon as I went to college. Bro.
To different universities, states, and programs. I see them every once in a while, but there's no group anymore, no shared community.
Facts.
It's not the same. Through doing the research I've done on this channel and really looking at other people around my age, I've noticed stunted growth of this generation, specifically men, on a wide scale. You could point to many things that demonstrate the arrested development of this generation. Men dropping out of the labor force, the college entrance rates being 60% women, 40% men, and the graduation rates being even more skewed at 70-30.
Bro, trying to graduate, bro, I feel like them niggas is hoeing me, bro. I feel like those past 3 semesters, my last 3 semesters, they were hoeing me, bro. I was just like, damn, I was getting so close, but they're like, nah, nigga, wait.
Some people say these men are avoiding college or dropping out to pursue some greater ambition, like starting a business. And while that may be the case for some, it was probably the idea for most of them. Let's just be honest, a lot of these guys are just fucking off. Less people are getting driver's licenses. You could point to the rate of single men.
Only reason I got my driver's license late was because my mom was on some bullshit, bro. I crashed the whip, but like, nigga, let me drive, bro.
And lonely men with no brotherhood. This is something I talk about a lot in other videos, so I'm not going to go into depth in the statistics, but having human relationships is a big part of growing up. Learning how to grow.
Facts. That shit help you.
And maintain connections and provide value. This is true for platonic relationships, but it's also true for romantic as well.
Yeah.
It's a part of maturing, but a lot of men don't even get their foot in the door now. This arrested development is also demonstrated by Gen Z's obsession with escapism and fantasy.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little escapism, but like, I do feel as this generation, it's like shit weird, bro. Ever since COVID, niggas just don't be talking to people, bro. People don't talk to each other. Everything's just on the phone, bro. That shit weird as fuck.
And it's cool if you like these sort of things, but the amount of people I see make it damn near their whole
damn. These niggas going crazy.
Personality is crazy. And this is because community is dying and culture alongside it. Nobody has a real sense of self anymore. When I look around at young people my age, a lot of them are submerged in this escapism, whether it be anime, video games, the hub, weed, and other drugs. Usually a combination of most of these things. It's what they spend most of their time doing, and in a way it's kind of what they live for. This is also sort of connected to rampant consumerism, which is childish. Being obsessed with fantasy is a childish trait. This isn't to say that all Zoomers are like grown-up children. I know a lot of people that are making good progress. They're growing up. They're
I got plenty of friends who married, nigga. That shit weird, bro. I feel like, damn, man, am I going at the right pace? Then I realized, nigga, everybody's path is different, nigga. Everybody.
Doing good, but it's a scary amount. And a lot of these guys who live this sort of lifestyle, they're really smart too. Like, they had a lot of potential, but it's just, it's over now. I'm 20, but I haven't really lived that much for my age in terms of experience, which, as I talked about earlier, slows down time, especially when compared to someone like my great-grandfather when he was 20 years old, who, while being technically the same age as me, would have already lived way more
Yeah.
and kind of longer. He experienced more growth, more character development.
I feel like I need to go through that. I need to go through some love and heartbreak. Just so niggas can grow.
There are even arguments rooted in physiognomy that claim men today look younger and more childlike than men of previous generations.
That's true. People do say I look young as fuck.
Because this lack of experience and responsibility can manifest itself in your physical appearance, which is debatable, but it's an interesting concept. You could also point to the home ownership rates and the amount of people still living with their parents, which is mainly an economic issue. I'm not going to blame that on video games or whatever. And in other cultures, they do that anyway. I moved out, and I kind of regret it. But the truth is, a lot of these people who are living with their parents also just happen to be not doing shit.
I don't know. When I was at my mama's house for that 1 year after, when COVID started happening shit, bro, I was in that bit hustling. I had 2 jobs, nigga. I was making songs, putting videos out and shit, bro. I wasn't like these lazy niggas, man.
After graduating from
I moved out in that year,
high school and
ain't got a whip.
not going to university, I didn't really consider how much it would isolate me. The truth is, college has sort of monopolized socialization for young people. And I talked about this a little bit on my second channel. That video didn't even get a whole lot of views compared to my other ones, but the
So what, we in debt? That shit manageable.
amount of people who sent me emails that were resounding with it showed me how true it is. It sucks because college now for many people isn't a smart financial decision unless you have some sort of scholarship or financial aid, or you're really hell-bent on becoming an accountant. If you graduate high school, you start going straight to a trade, straight to the professional world. You're going out doing all these things by yourself. You look around and everyone's older than you. And you
That's because no one's doing the shit you're doing.
Find out quickly how atomized, how individualized people are, how hard it is to find a community. I just thought that's something I'd mention for anybody graduating high school or about to graduate high school. You know, if you're not going to go to college, you gotta weigh that in. You gotta understand that you'll probably isolate yourself because a lot of your friends are probably going. Your social circle is going to split apart.
Ain't gonna have no social circle.
And there's not going to be a group of young people around you anymore. You'll go outside and everybody's 40. I was talking to my parents the other day at lunch, asking them about when they were my age. They're in their 60s now.
Damn.
My parents were dating when they were 19. I've never been in a relationship. I've only fooled around with girls I couldn't care less
Same.
about. They talked about all these people they met when they were my age that I now know today. They were telling me these stories, and it all just seems so natural.
That's because they grew up without this social media shit, without Instagram, without Twitter, without people just shaking their ass on live for no reason, without bitches just fiending for attention, posting bullshit, bro. So them niggas can't. They don't count.
Like, they didn't have to think twice about it, and I felt uncomfortable in comparison because none of these things happened to me. And I'm similar to my parents. I'm genetically them. What sucks is that I'm overthinking about all this shit to a degree that makes me weird, that my dad never had to think about. I've gone through all these phases, self-improvement, reading all these books, devising a plan to stop touching my worm and looking at hentai, you know, black pill, jawline, can't thou tilt. It's like, geez, man, how did I get here? A lot of these things were just supposed to happen. So this is the image of what this era is creating. Atomized, disconnected people with no identity or greater purpose than to consume.
Yeah. Shit's sad.
You don't grow, you don't mature, you're dependent on your parents.
Not me. I moved out 17, nigga. 17.
Or you live in a tiny apartment where you don't know your neighbors.
I don't know my neighbors.
You come home from work, or you don't work at all, just to cope through fantasy, through escapism, drugs, and technology. You fuck your sex robot, and you take your medicine.
I take my drugs, and I do technology, but I don't do no robots.
Listen, you don't have a family, but you got a lot of products.
I have a family, I just don't talk to them a lot. I feel like I just need my space. This shit not the same, bro. I be going over there and like trying to relate to him. It's not the same, bro. I be like, damn, whatever.
Say whatever you want, ignore me at your own peril, but this is no mistake. This was planned for you. And even though all of this is happening, I'm still young, you might be too. You still decide your own future.
Facts.
I could stay up in this basement, comfortable, too scared to change, with my gamer chair and computer with the RTX whatever the fuck, in the confines of the underground prison, watching seasons pass like days, a child in a man's body, just living to farm dopamine from games and the internet, the flesh merging with machine as the world burns. This is the life that so many young men like me live. But it ain't gonna happen to Daddy. I don't think so, pal. Daddy is gonna make a change. And you can too. Anything is possible with a good plan.
Facts, bro.
It is harder now. These videos on my channels have been getting repetitive because I haven't really grown much as a person. I haven't been gaining much experience.
Yeah.
But I think this is about to change. Stay
Same.
tuned and you'll find out, but first I have to beat this case.
That summer was so good, bro. This is a good ass summer.